So we give him the address, and like 2 days go by, and he calls back, and he goes, "Okay, so interesting. There was a spirit portal upstairs."
A portal?
A portal?
A portal. And he's like, it wasn't just one entity that was
Coming and going.
It was almost as if it was like a motel. Like these spirits are coming and going, and
I literally just got
sometimes they're, super friendly, sometimes they're troubled. He said, the troubled ones kind of tend to stick.
Which is what you were feeling
Yeah.
when that day you didn't want to turn on the lights.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Behind the Lockbox. I'm Stephanie Zalewski here with
Cameron Barbier.
And today, this guy just walked in the door, and I've never met him, full disclosure, but I love him already. And I mean, I see why Mackenzie, although I think when you walked in, I said, "Oh my God, you're dating Mackenzie." Like,
Yeah. It's a charity thing.
It's a charity thing. It's okay. Just kidding, girl.
Sorry.
We love you and we wish you were here.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We're probably never also going to get through this intro. Let me tell you who's here today. We're sitting down with Kevin Botsford. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That's how you say your last name?
In the flesh, yes.
In the flesh. And he is actually with our very own brokerage at Compass, but in LA.
In LA, in Pasadena.
That's a great market.
It is.
So, Kevin, you told me you've been in business 11 years, but you've been doing residential for 9.
Yep.
Because you were quickly realized commercial was not.
So we started off kind of right out of college.
Okay.
We were...
Wait, who's we?
It was my buddy, Mitch McCarthy, who is, shout out to Mitch. He and I had started in a bullpen, and there was it was very Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, we're, you get a sale, they ring the bell.
Oh, really?
Oh, they're announcing the commissions, they take you to nice lunch.
Oh,
It was,
Wow.
It was kind of a shell company. I'm not sure how legit it is.
So it was like front for drugs. Okay.
It definitely no longer exists.
Got it.
But
Guys in jail, but it's cool.
we kind of office spaced it. We left overnight. So
Okay. Well, so you did that for what?
2 years.
2 years. And then
2
you were
years.
like, I don't want to die. I'm going to get out.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, this is still the intro, as I was saying.
And I meant to say boiler room, by the way, not office.
Ooh.
There you go.
Okay. Per your Instagram, you love all things fishing and sports. And I also heard long walks on the beach.
Long walks on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and Cam met in college.
Correct.
Apparently.
Do you even remember?
Nope.
Not a
I
whole
don't remember
lot.
college either.
Not a whole lot.
Okay, perfect.
But
perfect.
Go Gauchos.
And per Cam, you definitely have some stories for us. So
I do.
With that, Kevin, welcome to Behind the Lockbox.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
It's a huge moment in my career. I really appreciate it.
We love you.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, where do you want to start? Because you hit us with
I've got some good stories.
Should he start with the Cartel one?
I feel like, we could end that in a bang.
Okay.
But let's see. I've got a good ghost story.
Ooh, we love a good ghost. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Which is actually fairly involved. This isn't like, I saw something, and this was...
Ooh, okay, start there. There. Go for it.
This was over the course of, I want to say 6 months. It's like 2016. We have a property up in Bel Air.
Okay.
Beautiful property. It's like 5 bed, 5 bath. It's got a great view.
What was the listing price?
It was, I want to say we were the cheapest house in the market. We were way under market value.
At 30 million?
No, not even. We were just under 3.
Dang.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I think market value back then was...
Wait, what year was this?
It's like 16,
Okay.
17.
Okay.
It was like high 9s. Into the thousands a foot, and we were on in like the mid 8s.
Did need a lot of work?
It needed a lot of work.
Sure.
There was, in fact, when we took the listing, we went in and, we knew the owner. We got a call from them.
Okay.
And
they lived there?
They lived there.
Okay.
And it was kind of the Partridge family. There's 5 kids.
Oh, wow.
Definitely a licensed contractor. Had never seen this property. I mean, the kids, this place was like bubble gum and duct
Lived
tape.
in.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
And so we're walking the property, and where, you kind of go through all the baths and the beds and the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice. It's updated.
Yeah.
So we get upstairs.
Your
Is
home's
that
the
duct
best on the
tape?
market.
Yeah.
Is that duct tape holding up that door?
Yeah.
frame? Okay,
I'm just
cool,
not
cool.
going to open this door.
Yeah.
And so we get into the back bedroom, and it was the youngest. She was a little girl. She must have been like 7. She was special needs, I remember.
Oh, okay.
And I go into the closet, and in the closet, written on the wall in like Crayola, there's like, it's like, my friend so and so lives in here, and there's a drawing of this other little girl, very crude drawing, and behind, in the back of the closet, there's like another small door where if you open it, it goes into the actual attic. Like you can see
It's like
all
a
the
Narnia door.
You can see like all the insulation
Yep.
and everything, and like it smells hot. That
Yeah.
upstairs attic smell.
Yep.
And I work with my parents, so I'm kind of looking at my mom like, this is a little creepy, and so
Is the little girl in the room?
no, they're gone. The
Okay,
family's
so
gone.
no one's there.
Yeah,
Had they moved out?
They're in the middle of moving out. A lot
Okay.
of boxes.
Okay.
And so, I kind of footnoted it like, oh, this is a little creepy.
This is weird. Okay.
So we go onto the market, and
Did you guys do anything to like spruce it up?
so we cleaned it out. We
Okay.
we cleaned it. We staged it. We
Painted?
painted the interior.
Did you paint
Shoulda
over
staged it.
We painted over the
drawing?
We painted over the drawing, which may
I don't think so.
I don't think that was a good idea.
in fact, I could tell you was not a good idea. So, so we go through, and obviously we're the best value house in Bel Air, and we have hundreds of people coming.
Is it
Right.
historic?
No.
So it can be torn down.
It can be torn
Okay.
down. It's on a huge lot, but the pad is a quarter of the lot, flat pad. The rest is on slope, so you
Okay.
can't really build.
So
on
it's
it.
not super built. It's not like
Right.
3 flat acres like
Right.
in the middle of Bel Air.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
And so, 1 week goes by, month goes by, 2 months goes by, and for whatever reason, no one's pulling the trigger on this thing. But we
Are
are.
you attending all showings?
We are aggressively holding open houses like
Okay.
twice a week, which I'm not a huge fan of. Like if you
Okay.
start to get slow, you want to back off a little bit,
Sure.
reinvigorate it,
Right.
make a price adjustment,
Yeah.
which they didn't want to do, which is fine.
Right.
So as the people kind of stop coming, like I'm sitting downstairs and weird, it's just that feeling of like someone's watching you.
Yes.
Really?
It got to the point where I wouldn't go and turn the upstairs lights on until I saw a car coming up the driveway for like the first showing, because I was too scared to go
Even
upstairs.
during the day.
During the day. This was never at
That's
night.
creepy. If it's,
And the worst part is there's almost no reception, like one bar, and it's like you got to kind of
hell
walk
no.
around. Yeah. And so,
Oh my God.
yeah, it was like I wouldn't go upstairs.
so you just have this feeling.
The buyer comes in, you're like,
Nothing-
can we hold hands when we walk through
Yeah,
this?
and
I
the-
haven't turned on the lights
you know-
in here yet. Can you go upstairs with me?
It's funny because once these, the potential buyers would come in, it was like, it was
went away.
fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
You do your thing, you go through, and then, they'd come and go. And the second that door would close, you'd be like, oh
you're
God, now I got to go upstairs and turn these lights off. It's getting to dusk. So we've been on for 4 months, and I'm sitting in this.
And you're not getting any feedback from anyone.
We're not getting any
no one
feedback.
is
People
saying
just
that,
like they're not loving the product. I think
and it needs work and like
needs a lot of work.
Okay, so it's like possibly just too much for someone to take on right
Exactly.
now. Okay, that's been like
And-
the main. okay.
Exactly. And so I'm sitting in the living room, and this is a true story.
Oh my God. I'm so
This
excited.
is a true story. And I hear like the squeaky shower handle like turn
I'm
on
literally getting
Upstairs?
goosebumps right now.
upstairs, like from the
Oh my gosh,
direction of
I'm
where
already-
our imaginary friend was. And I'm looking up, and I'm like, God damn it. So I'm like, okay. And you can hear the pipes like in the house, like kind of rumbling, like older house. And so
And do you hear water?
I swore I heard water.
Okay.
So then it stops.
You're by yourself?
Yeah, I'm by myself.
Oh hell, am I going to investigate? No.
I'm literally like
Calling my mom.
I did. That's exactly what I did. I called
Mom,
my
I'm
mom.
scared.
I called my mom and I said, "Look,
For sure.
this is ridiculous, but
You gotta come here, Mom."
Someone's upstairs." And she's like, no one's upstairs. I'm like, I think someone's upstairs. So I go up, and the shower's off, but it's wet. And I like
the water was
the
for
water.
sure
The
on
water
at
turned
some
on.
point.
Yeah.
The water turned on. So I go downstairs and I called my mom back and I said, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. Like I'm locking the door. I don't care if people come.
Done.
So
And this was again for an open house.
it's an open house, but we're like 4 months into this thing, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
no one's coming.
They're like, yeah,
No
bro,
one's
we've
coming.
seen that house on the market
No
for,
one's
yeah,
coming.
I know that feeling.
So we have a very good family friend who he's like a medium. And like, I mean, this guy's like legit.
Good.
Like
Oh, yeah.
he goes down and does these like vision quests, peyote, like down in South America.
Wow.
He's like a real shaman. And
So he's a shaman. Does he meet with people also to like connect to the other side?
Absolutely. Totally.
Can we get his number, by the way?
Yeah. And like I could
okay.
drop his name. I'm not really sure like how that
Yeah,
goes.
you can if you're okay with it, for sure.
His name
Yeah.
is Jim Dool. And he is
Okay.
the real he's the real deal. He's the real deal. So
Okay.
my mom Vicky, she says, you know
Hi,
what?
Vicky. Hi, Mom.
hi,
Yeah.
Vicky.
So she says, you know what? I've had enough of this. And
Of you
Yeah.
calling me and telling me there's ghosts.
I've
This
had
is
enough.
ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're a scaredy cat. I
Yeah.
don't know who raised you.
And she's
Yeah.
been in the business for like 28 years.
Has she ever come across anything like this?
Not like to this extent.
Yeah.
Like she maybe just. Are you someone that believes in this kind of stuff?
You know, I am.
And I am too. And so I think
I am.
you are too. So
Yeah.
we allow that
To come
maybe
in.
where
I
she's
think-
like completely a wall.
Yeah.
You know
like,
what I'm saying?
I think that there's definitely energies that
100%.
go around and like
Yes.
you can feel them. Like
Yep.
I'm not saying that a little girl's gonna walk across the living room.
No, but you got to be open to it, and you got to believe that
100%.
can happen. Otherwise,
Yeah.
like with your mom, they're just like, oh, she won't believe this anyway. Yeah.
So
she's like, I've had enough. We're calling in Jim.
So she's like, we're calling Jim. I'm like, yeah, do it. Please. So
I'm not coming back without Jim.
So we don't tell the owner. She lobs a call into Jim. She goes, hey, this is kind of what's happening. And he goes, okay.
My son is crazy, but can you please come? Yeah.
He goes, can you just give me the address? All I need is the address. Sure. So we give him the address, and like 2 days go by, and he calls back and he goes, okay, so interesting. There was a spirit portal upstairs.
A portal?
A portal?
A portal. And he's like, it wasn't just one entity that was
Coming
coming in.
and going.
It was almost as if it was like a motel. Like these spirits are coming and going, and
I literally just got
sometimes they're super friendly, sometimes they're troubled. He said the troubled ones kind of tend to stick.
Stay.
Which is what you were feeling
Yeah.
when that day you
Yeah.
didn't want to turn on the lights.
Yeah, exactly. That like kind of anxious, like in the gut of your stomach. So he goes, so I closed the portal, and we're like, okay, so what does this mean? And he goes, it just, I closed the portal. It's a temporary close. You can't just seal them. They're all over the place. And a week later, we got an offer and we accepted it, and we closed in 30 days.
Okay, but who's living there now?
I don't care.
And did they? It's their portal to.
By the way, there might be a portal that's going to reopen, and
Yeah.
I don't know when. It could
I
be
don't know.
anytime.
Maybe I'll get sued on a disclosure issue. I don't know about disclosing
I don't
portals.
know.
Wait, did
But,
anything come up with that drawing? Because you're like, I knew that was a bad idea to
Yeah,
make
did
over
he
it.
say anything? Did he give you any other details?
It was never like that. But obviously, this girl this little
Seen it.
girl had experienced something.
Well, wasn't that her bedroom?
It was her
And
bedroom.
the portal's in the closet.
The portal. He just said upstairs. He never said like what
Yeah, but
room.
we know.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah. It's the Narnia door that
this-
leads into the attic where
There was-
nobody went.
There was something going on up there. There was something going on up there.
But
I wonder if they ever experienced living as a
yeah,
family.
they never
there.
said anything.
Well, the funny thing is we never asked, and we also never told him about the shaman. We just quietly closed the deal.
It's
and went
like
on there.
saging. You basically sage
Yeah,
the house,
exactly.
essentially. Like, it is what it is.
Exactly. So,
So did he like tell them like, hey, look,
I think he just closed the portal. I don't know how he does it. I don't know if it's like
Wow.
any peyotes involved. I don't know what's going on, but whatever it was, he zipped it up, and we
literally.
And it worked.
we put that baby under contract within 7 days of
That's
him. It was crazy. It
What
was.
did your mom
It was,
say?
I mean, we were dumbfounded. We didn't know.
Were you like, I told you, Mom?
Well, she was just like, because she believes in that stuff too.
Sure, but she was
But-
like, you're being ridiculous.
Well, she was, like, I knew I should have called Jim. It's,
You're like,
Yeah.
I was the one dealing with all these
yeah.
different
She was like,
people
well,
coming by.
Yeah, she's like, see, I called Jim. I fixed the whole thing. So
I sold that.
I love you, Vicky.
she is the fixer. We call her the Victator.
Do you know
Yeah.
his mom?
No.
No, she's great.
Do we need to have her on the podcast?
100%. This would go like way better than how it's going now. And my dad
This
is
is going great.
Jeff's just too funny. So
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We need to get like another. My goal is to get a fourth mic next year so we can have
Yeah.
like partners come
Oh,
on
yeah,
basically, and
for
like
sure.
Jeff and Vicky, you're coming
Yeah.
on the podcast.
yeah.
on next.
Oh, it would be worth
That's
it for sure.
hysterical.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a great
Wow.
story.
Yeah, so that was like,
Wow.
I mean, I've definitely had other feelings and weird,
Oh, we've had a couple too.
weird,
Yeah.
weird just vibes.
Yep.
But that one was
We're
like,
hanging out in a portal.
it was palpable. And then the crazy thing was,
I don't think I've never experienced it to that extent.
Yeah.
I just knew. I've told this story many times on this podcast, but we had a listing here in La Jolla that was actually the first hospital here in La Jolla, and by that I mean mental institution back in the
I mean, you
late
couldn't
1800s.
draw it up any better.
Yeah, and
thanks.
our partner sends me in at dusk, and he's like, "Just go take a look at it." And I walked in, and I was like,
I'm out.
"Nope, I'm good." And
I'm
I
out.
literally turned around and walked out. And
It's
like
enough.
we found out, our photographer just told me a couple weeks ago at another listing. So we didn't want to freak you out, but by the way, we definitely saw things when we were there. And like he had told me that a black shadow had kind of brushed up against
Yeah.
him, and I was like, "Okay, let's go." We're like holding hands,
was
turning
too
off
much.
lights, like. But I never felt threatened, but I felt creeped out.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
You can
Yeah.
feel it.
You
It's not like
feel
a
it.
terrifying thing.
No, but it's just
You just
like
want to get out of
It's
there.
just
yeah,
like,
you just
get
want to
me-
get out, and you're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in your mind, you're like, you can't scare me. You can't. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna turn off these lights, and I'm going. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
By the way, it was an Airbnb.
Oh, so it's, there you go.
Like what?
Yeah, it's
what? Yeah, I know.
It's-
It was insane. The
it's a
seller
weird
was like,
feeling.
"It's not haunted," and I was like,
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
"No, it definitely was." Our other photographer, you haven't heard this, I don't think, but he saw a woman standing in the window, thought it was me, called out for me. I came around the corner, and he looked up, and she was gone.
See,
And I've never seen
that's real.
anything.
Like it happens.
100%.
It
Yes.
happens for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
It happens for
yes.
sure. And like La Jolla, like Pasadena is like,
We've
it's
got
old. I mean,
old,
yes.
I
Yes.
bought a little bungalow. It was built in 1922. Like it's
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
And there's definitely,
No portals in your bungalow, right?
I don't think so. It's so small. But sometimes when I go to get water at night, like I scurry back to the bed. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Just in case.
Just in
also
case.
scurry back to my bed too.
Yeah, no, that's
like-
Hey, I get it.
like
I have
that's a
night
thing.
lights on, and like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is, you can see this is the extent of my
Yeah.
little bungalow. Is she tiny?
Yeah.
But I'm just like, and Gwen's waiting for me, and I'm like, "You didn't see anything, did you, Gwen? Okay, cool. My dog."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like it's so funny. That's
Yeah.
hysterical.
Oh yeah. Yeah. so
my
that was
God. Okay.
That was definitely
Oh, man.
that was an eye opener
A
for
portal.
sure.
I've never heard
portal
of the-
spirit portal, and I've actually heard him speak on these portals multiple times in multiple instances, and
And you can't close them permanently, but
that's my understanding. I mean, I'm no shaman,
Yeah.
but
I want to meet with him.
That
Yeah,
reminds
no,
me of
you
that
can-
TV
it's-
show where never mind. They have like a portal. It's like it's a Netflix thing.
yeah,
No.
no, it's like
I think Kim's making this.
yeah,
up.
I know, it's all right. Yeah, I mean,
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. There you go.
Okay,
there you go.
I've actually never watched that show, but
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Like I live alone. I gotta censor what I watch. It's really just Bravo and Housewives.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
come for me.
No,
I
I'm
like
with
my
you.
trash TV.
Stranger Things you should watch
Yeah.
for somebody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe.
Especially
Okay.
that first season gets
Especially
boring.
now that you know that there are portals.
Yeah. No,
Not-
it's very real.
tonight I'm gonna go to bed and run back to my room and be like, "Please don't let there be a portal in here.
Yeah, totally.
My guardian angels protect me." Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
God,
Okay.
yeah, that
but
was
I
a
wanna
good
talk
one.
to him, Jim.
Yeah,
I
Jim.
know, I
Look
really
him up.
will.
He's
Yeah, I
he's
will.
fantastic. I mean, he's really like into the mantra. Like he will immediately get your vibe.
I heard good ones are able to, you just give an address and they're able to do it like virtually.
Totally.
Virtually? I
Like
guess?
not
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
He just like, taps into it, whatever.
Yeah. I've
It's
actually
crazy.
asked about my house. I called somebody.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we see a lot of stuff outside, but nothing like inside.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to have it like,
Outside.
I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know.
Like,
Maybe I should ask more about that. I just figured the street.
You're like, as long as it's not coming in this gate that we built, we're cool.
yeah, exactly.
Matt, that wood gate's real sturdy, right? Okay, cool. Cool.
Spirits are coming through that
It's
thing.
not spirit proof.
Behind the Lockbox is sponsored by Property Showcase Group. Property Showcase Group has a team of creatives, directors, producers, editors, marketing specialists, and designers that work in tandem to tell and share stories of the built environment. Whether you're looking for full-service production or simply just need content creation, Property Showcase Group can help take your business to the next level. To learn more or to contact Property Showcase Group to schedule a consultation, you can find them at propertyshowcasegroup.com. That's spelled PROPERTYSHOWCASEGROUP.com. PropertyShowcaseGroup.com. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you're going to hit us with another one as good as that one, but
Oh man. I mean,
which one do you want to go to next?
I have some, let's see. I have like a quick funny one.
Okay. Give us that.
So we had a listing in the Palisades.
Okay.
Kind of the same story. And I swear I'm a good agent, but we're on the market for like 2 months.
You just made me old man laugh. I swear I'm a good agent.
I swear.
Guys, I swear. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So we're on the market for like 2 months, and again, it's just open house, and it's kind of dead.
What year
And
was this?
This was probably 2018.
Okay.
I feel like 2 months, that's not that long. And then now it is.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. I mean, this was like a really cute house up in the Palisades. It's like ocean view. It was like pretty well priced.
You're all over Palisades.
Yeah.
Pasadena.
Well, before I used to work on the west side, so that's where the Brentwood
Got it.
Palisades.
Got it.
And then I ended
Bel Air,
up
yeah.
I ended up going from the west side to Pasadena, where I grew up.
Okay.
And starting with my mom and dad.
Got it. Okay. Perfect.
So I'm in this house, and we'd gone to like the Shore Bar the night before. It's like really tight.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a great time.
It's really fun. We tied it on pretty tight, and it's like, the open house is like 2 to 4 on Sunday.
At least you started at 2 and not
You
like
got some time.
11
Yeah,
a.m., 10 a.m.
I thought so.
Yeah.
And so,
He thought.
I thought so.
Uh-oh.
So I wake up and like immediately know I'm not feeling too hot. And so I get up there, half hour early. I get all the lights on, get the AC on, and it's like a beautiful day. Like it's like a fall day. It's gorgeous.
Got that cool breeze coming through.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm in there, and half hour goes by, and I'm sitting on the couch. I'm kind of watching and looking out the window. It's at the top of a cul-de-sac, so again, I can see when the cars are coming up. And,
Okay.
and I'm out there, and I'm kind of starting to doze off. I fall asleep on this couch. Oh yeah, I fall asleep on this couch, and we're like an hour into the open house, and I like full like coffin position. And
This was last week, by the way.
I wake up, and there's like 4 people in the room, and they're
Staring
like
at you?
they're looking at
Are
me.
they just like standing over you, like
they're like
check?
they're looking at me, and
Or did you just like open your eyes and be like,
for sure. I'm like, where am I? I'm like, oh my God,
where am I?
where am I?
What day is it?
So
What did I do last night?
yeah. So I'm like, I'm open, and like these I remember is these 4 women, and they're standing there, and there's other people in the kitchen. I mean, there's like 8 people in this house.
It's like a really busy open
It's a busy deal. And I looked at this one woman, and she was like, "Are you okay?"
I don't know.
And the first words that came out of my mouth
oh God.
was, and I am single as can be. I go, "Oh my God, we just had a baby. I haven't slept in 2 days." Just bang, nailed him with the newborn, and
You saw the audience and you were like,
immediately were so sympathetic. Like, oh my gosh, we can remember those times. Like, oh my God,
did you just like jump up?
That's
like,
so
she's
cute.
not recovered.
And-
Did you just like jump up and you're like, yeah, God,
Oh
like,
no! I like
I'd show you a
really. I
picture, but
played
my
it
phone
out.
is
I was
dead.
like, yeah. I'm like, it's just so brutal. It's so brutal.
the first thing out of your mouth.
You're the smartest
Bang.
person I've ever met.
Like,
the smartest person
literally
you've ever.
came out of my mouth, and I was like, I kind of sat up, and I was thinking to myself, like, damn, that was good.
That was good. You were like,
that was
then
good.
you're awake.
Yeah.
You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You've had
yeah.
an hour nap.
And I was like,
You're a
all
new-
right,
you're a
so
new dad?
here we go. Yeah.
Let me show you around this house.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
show me photos.
Yeah.
You're like,
Like, we can't go
phone's
late.
dead.
I gotta.
I gotta get home. Oh, you know what? Someone's
I
coming
gotta
in.
get home.
I'm wrapping
Cry.
it.
I don't know why. That's
Oh
so
my
good.
God.
I don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
think I would have thought of that.
It was-
And I have babies.
You wouldn't have. You would have been like,
I'd been like, shit.
no, you would have been so
It
uncool.
was
You would have
so
been like,
good.
I got so drunk last night. Like, I don't know. And when really,
was so
like,
good.
you didn't. You just like were
I
up all
know.
night with,
I was
the,
up with the baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
literally.
God. And like, I looked obviously, not great. And like,
The
You, like,
alcohol
reek of
is
booze.
leaking out
for
of you.
sure.
Like,
Like, what kind of dad is this?
you're like, I was just drinking to cope.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know what happened.
It's a coping mechanism.
Oh
I
my
don't
God,
know.
Kevin, that is so good.
Yeah, so that was like a quick little. In fact, I was talking to my dad on the way here, and he was like, "You got to tell the baby story." I was like, "Oh, I forgot about that."
I love that they know it
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Did you go home and you're like, Dad,
Immediately called him.
you'd be so proud of
I
me.
was like, "So,
Guess what
You know
happened?
that listing up in the Palisades?"
Fell asleep.
Fell asleep.
Oh,
He goes,
But
"What
I
did you
recovered
do?"
well.
was it vacant?
It was their furniture.
Wait, were you in their bedroom? Were you in
No,
their bed?
I was down. Oh, thank God, I was down in the little living room. It was a great house. Actually, it was one of my favorite houses.
He's like under the covers.
Yeah.
Shoes are off. Like,
No, I was in like full coffin position.
I
Like,
wish they got a photo
like,
of that.
Were you just like
2x4.
shaking? Just like,
I must have been.
yeah, you must have been.
Are you
like,
okay?
Yeah.
Are you
okay?
okay?
Like, she was like over me. Like, are you okay?
Ready to like check your pulse.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, no, we just.
Oh my God.
we just had a baby. It's been brutal. Super brutal. So.
oh my God, mind you, you're like fresh out of college. You're like 24. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, young dad life. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
my
so-
God. We've had a couple guests that have fallen asleep at open houses.
But they did not have that answer.
Cade, maybe come up with a better. Matt, didn't they both fall asleep?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's.
One was hiding Taco Bell in a cabinet. Like,
We've all. I mean, we've all.
Ooh, I could do something.
We've all
right now.
been there.
Ugh,
all
Taco
been
Bell.
there.
Don't you love Taco Bell?
I'm more of a DT guy. I'm a Del Taco guy. I know. Everybody
ever
says
had
that.
Del
Although
Mackenzie-
their French fries are pretty good.
French fries.
French
Yeah, they
fry.
have crinkle cut. What?
Yeah. No,
You've never had their French
I'm like
fries?
I do like a couple soft tacos.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's not Taco Bell.
No, I know.
I used to get so pissed after the bar when they'd be like, let's open Del Taco. And I'm like,
See, you're like Mackenzie. Mackenzie is like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not.
We are diehard
I'm
Taco
not
Bell.
going to DT.
no.
But Taco Bell.
So-
No.
yes.
yeah.
Taco Bell all the way. Listen, if I'm going to get a stomach ache from eating fast food,
Yeah, it's gonna be
it's
that.
going to be Taco Bell. You know
I mean,
what
it's
Yeah.
pretty much guaranteed, but
Yeah.
it's totally worth it
Yeah.
on the way in for sure.
Yeah.
True.
Absolutely.
On the way
Yeah.
out, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God.
But
that is
the open houses are always, it's always so
Have you fallen
fun.
asleep at any other ones?
No, that was really it. I mean, I'm sure I have a million open houses stories, but
Oh my God.
that was a good one.
That's a really good
Yeah,
one.
that was a good
Oh
one.
my God.
And
Are
then
you recovered?
No.
I probably should have saved that. I feel like I'm already,
I don't
that's some
know,
of the,
I
that's
like
some of my
catch
best
my
work.
breath when you said that.
You couldn't. That was like me
I
with
went down.
that was like me with Brandon and the
The dildo.
yeah. That was oh God. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. I watched a couple of them. I'm like, damn, I don't have any good dildo stories. That's,
Sure you will
Well,
after
I
this.
mean, apparently they're all over just discarded around San Diego, according to Brandon Wilcox.
oh, he just started getting rid of them?
No, he
No, he
finds them.
Oh, well,
We've yet to see any. I don't know. I'm looking.
Yeah, I still haven't.
Yet to see any. So,
oh,
anyway.
yeah. No, I don't know
Okay,
if I've
I'm like
ever
really
found anything
dying
like that.
to hear the cartel story.
The cartel story. So
yeah.
I wish this was like a guns blazing, hero story. It's really not, but it's super interesting.
Okay. I also have a cartel story, but it's not about.
yeah.
I mean, have I told you that?
Yes.
Did I tell it on this podcast?
No.
Okay, you go first.
So we are representing the seller.
Okay.
We are in a like a big estates area in Pasadena.
Okay.
This is like 2015.
Okay. It's a while ago.
Yeah, it's a while ago, and we have a listing that is where we were asking like just under 9 million,
Okay.
and we go to market, and this gal comes in. We didn't even have open houses; it was like a scheduled showing type deal. And so this,
For a big estate, sometimes that's
Yeah,
challenging, and if
totally.
there's really nice
Yeah,
art and things, that's
exactly.
that could be tough.
Once you get into that echelon,
Yeah.
it's like we're not doing open houses.
Yeah,
'cause
we
you're gonna
typically
just get
don't.
people coming in.
Correct.
So we get a call from an agent who we've done business with. We know her well.
Okay.
And she goes, "Hey, look, I've got this great client. We've actually purchased a couple houses in the area over the last year, and she's really interested in this house. Can we come see it?" Sure, no problem. So they come in. She brings her daughter, and I say daughter in
Oh.
quotes. And
Interesting. The plot thickens.
Yeah, the plot thickens. So they go through the house, spin through the house, and that night we get an offer. It's like over asking, all cash, no contingencies, 2-week close
From them.
from them.
The unicorn. I love it. They do happen.
Yeah,
They do happen.
Yeah, and normally, it's when it's that good.
When it's too good to be
usually
true,
not
it's
great. Yeah,
usually-
too good
yeah,
to be true is
yeah,
not great.
yeah.
Something's gonna happen. But I mean, that's a nice pop right there. So we're like, yeah, for sure. So seller's happy with it. We sign him up, and a couple days go by, and she's the buyer said that she actually owns a company that manufactures jeans like for children out of Mexico. And which is it was a weird deal.
Just jeans.
Just jeans. And she
Very
was also
specific.
Yeah.
like
Drugs. Okay.
and so drugs. And so but she was I don't know if I said she was a Chinese buyer. That kind of ties in.
Okay.
Because at the time in the market down there or up there, a lot of cash was coming in from China,
China.
and
Yes.
they were placing it in these San Marino, Pasadena, because it was a
Wait,
money
sorry.
park.
Did you say the buyer was Chinese?
The buyer was Chinese, and she said,
Oh.
and yeah, so this was kind of our first red flag. She was a Chinese buyer,
With
and
the company in Mexico?
and she owned a children's jean company. In
You saw her.
Mexico.
She is Chinese.
Straight up
Okay.
What was her daughter?
Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Like they like not even really like it wasn't like I don't think.
Was her daughter younger?
Yeah, it was like younger.
Okay.
It wasn't a little daughter. It was like she was like an adult daughter.
She wouldn't fit the jeans that she's making?
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
Okay.
So
Okay.
within the 2-week period, this woman like kind of like disappears after like 10 days, to the point where like
It
nobody.
disappears on the agent as well.
Yeah, we can't find her, and we're like, okay, is this thing like actually gonna close or whatever? And then she comes back on like day 13. She's like, sorry, I had business to do. Like, and they sign it, they close it. So
closed.
They closed. We get paid. They get paid. They bought the house.
Oh, I'm
Again,
shocked.
I love a unicorn.
Yeah. So everything's great.
Yeah.
8 months later.
Until it isn't.
8 months later, phone rings, and it was a guy. His name was Kevin. And, great name. He calls claiming that he's from Homeland Security, and he started asking like all these probing questions. Like, so
Did he call you or Vicky?
he called Vicky.
Okay.
She was on the listing at the time.
Okay.
And so he was asking like really like probing
Are you there with your
questions.
mom?
Yeah, we were all sitting in the office. We were actually working for Partners Trust at the time, which was then bought by Compass when Compass came in,
yeah. Okay.
bought
Okay.
everybody.
So she's like, what the hell?
So and we were like, is this even real?
Yeah.
So one of our family friends, her husband is like the head of Homeland Security of the West Coast. or
Oh, wow.
was.
Wow.
So we call him and we said, hey, look, is this guy, we gave
John
the name.
Stone called me, like, whatever. Is he,
Kevin
can you look up for
whatsoever?
him? Yeah.
Is this guy legit? Are we walking into some sort of scam? Like what is this?
Yeah.
So, a couple days goes by and he calls back and he goes, yeah, that guy is definitely legit and you should definitely answer every question he asks.
Oh.
So we're like,
Did he
shit.
look into the case and give you any information?
Well, so we call him back and we're like, okay,
what do you need to know?
what do you need to know? And he goes, wow, that's interesting. You guys did some homework on me. Because the guy that we called was his higher up and he was like, oh. He's
You're like, well, yeah, I didn't want to be
yeah. And so essentially what it did was it built this, this trust. Yeah, exactly.
between the two of you,
Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now you know he's legit and
Yeah.
he knows that you guys understand.
Exactly. And so because he wanted us to come downtown and go through this whole thing, and we were like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is, and the first thing he said is, look, no matter what happens, like the commissions and everything, that's all safe. So don't get
Okay.
cagey because you think we're going to take away
money
your
or something.
your
Which is
commission,
good, 'cause that's
which is
a
good.
large commission.
Yeah, it was good. So he says, look, here's the deal. These people are basically, we've been following them around for almost 2 years, and they're laundering money through the drug cartel. The drug cartels are laundering money through Chinese buyers and buying huge properties around LA. And it's
So
like,
she was a beard.
yeah, exactly.
Essentially.
Exactly. And so
So she wasn't even going to be living at that property.
Oh, no. They were
essentially
they were laundering the
works
money
for the cartel.
Yeah, exactly.
She's being held by the
hired.
cartel.
I don't know what she knew. I don't know if she went to Mexico. I don't know if she went to China. I don't know if she turned her phone off for 4 days, but she was gone on business. And they were
How old was she?
She was in her like late 50s.
Did she look
and
like
the girl was
stressed
like
at all, or like
totally chill, which kind of makes me think like she didn't know
exactly
what was going on. You know, I think which is, I'm assuming how the cartel kind of does it. It's
Yeah.
like, here, just go buy a house.
They're not gonna. Yeah. And the agent, did you guys talk to the agent?
So the agent had repped him on like multiple transactions.
Sweet.
Of
well,
this,
and it keeps going
of
through.
this
So
caliber.
all cash, like,
and
hell
so, you know, I'm sure the agent was like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me? Like,
Wow.
this has been the greatest thing, but this
Yeah.
is crazy."
Yeah,
and
you gotta be
so,
careful.
yeah, and they ended up busting this ring,
Group.
the group, and they were laundering hundreds of millions of dollars through real estate transactions back into it, which was smart because, you know, you go park your money and then it appreciates anyway,
Right.
and it's clean money,
Right.
and so, yeah, that was that was like really crazy.
So pretty much you're in the cartel.
Pretty much. So it's like, I'm actually feeling a little nervous about this being on YouTube right now.
Well, don't worry. You
won't
didn't
find
say
you.
what cartel,
Yeah,
so like
well.
we should be good.
Well, if I go on a business trip, then
Yeah.
you know what happens.
Yeah.
So.
So there's a neighborhood here in Coronado, Coronado Cays, and it's all these houses basically have little docks, and
Sure.
it's in like
Yeah, I know
the
it.
intercoastal essentially is what it would be if like you're in Florida or whatever. Like for anyone who doesn't understand, like it's like, you know, canals and inlets that lead out to the ocean. You've been there. So friends of mine own a house down there, and you know, it's a very well-to-do neighborhood. And I went over there one time, and you know, I remember seeing like they lived in a cul-de-sac, and you know, there's one house like that even here in La Jolla where like there's always guys outside washing cars.
Yeah.
And we're not talking just like, you know, a Honda Civic.
Yeah.
We're talking like,
They're like
lime green Lambos.
nice
and like
cars.
Nice cars.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
hundreds
totally.
and hundreds of thousands of dollars of vehicles. And they're just like, you know, coming in and out, like
in,
G-Wagons
going,
and all kinds of stuff. And I just remember being like, oh, okay. And I walk in and my best friend says to me, yeah, we're pretty sure that's like a cartel family. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, you know, she just looks at me and I'm like, well, Mexico's right there. Like,
Yeah.
this doesn't faze me. Like, I'm not surprised. And she's like, well, did you hear what happened to their yacht? And I'm like, whose? And she's like, the house they were staying at. So they live in Arizona and this is their second home. So they come back and forth and they come to the house for a week or summer or whatever to stay. And they open up all the curtains and they're like, where's the boat? The boat's gone.
Oh,
And they have like yacht. I mean, it's a small yacht, but
Yeah.
it's essentially it's a big ass boat,
it's
you know?
a big ass boat. Yeah.
So
Doesn't just go missing.
doesn't just walk away. So he goes out to the neighbors and starts asking like, has anyone seen my boat? And this gentleman comes over and says, when did it go missing? He's like, I don't know. Like, I haven't been here in a month. Like, and he's like, I'll get it back for you. And turns around and walks away.
Oh,
And he's like, what do you mean you'll
The
get
hell
it
does
back
that mean?
from me?
Yeah.
Like, what? So 3 days later, here comes the boat. They're sitting out back, and it's this guy and his two,
cronies.
drive it up, park it at the dock, jump off, tie it all up and everything. It has been stripped down to nothing.
Oh man, they were running.
Everything is gone inside of it. The name is scratched off, like everything is scratched off the side, the license, like everything, right? Number, whatever, you know, because boats
Yeah.
have like the
Yeah,
license number and stuff on it. And he's like, don't worry, you'll never be bothered again. Walks into his house, out the front door, into his own house. And
What?
that was it. And I was like, are you shitting me? And I was like, that's protection right there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
hell yeah. Like, he'll
okay.
never be bothered again.
Like, I would love to be a fly on the wall when he made that call. Like,
Yeah.
who did he call?
And
you know,
he was like, why'd you dumbasses, like, why'd you steal this boat? Like, he was kind of seemed apparently pissed.
Yeah.
Like, don't.
At his guys.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? It's a
Like,
neighbor.
Yeah.
exactly. And I
oh,
don't know.
you think it was them?
No, it didn't seem like that. It seemed like maybe it was someone his guys knew, and they're like,
Oh,
"You
there's
fucking
these
idiots."
Oh,
Like, you know what I
somebody-
mean?
yeah,
Yeah. And so they were just like, well, this boat looks good. Let's plug
Yeah.
this bad boy.
Well, and they were probably like, they're never home.
Exactly. They probably cased it and know like the boat
Totally.
sits there all the
That's
time. The
what
house is always shut up. It's a second home,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
right? So he had to redo the whole inside, re-outfitted the whole entire boat, and he renamed it Nice Try.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that great?
That's great.
But I mean, and we've done deals recently with some people, and I was like,
it's like that's definitely
let's just
it's a thing. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
get the deal closed.
let's get the hell out of here.
Get those commissions. Homeland Security is not called that I'm aware of, but
Yeah.
like we'll be good to go,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's wild.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
crazy.
God. You had some good stories.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, that was.
I wish
I
we
don't
had
know if we're gonna have
time. I know.
Yeah,
How
no.
are we doing?
My
on time?
last story is like too boring anyway. I mean,
Okay.
it was like a classic. I totally transactions. My first
Well, do you
one.
want to play a game instead?
Sure.
Because this might even incite a little bit of stories.
Yeah,
but
let's
you know.
do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, Cam. She's gonna ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
So just like the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what's the craziest or pettiest thing that's ever killed or almost killed one of your deals?
Geez. I like just a really terrible request for repair. That was
Yeah.
a completely unreasonable.
Last week somebody said a refrigerator seal.
Yeah.
for like,
well,
$100
you know what?
bucks.
That you jogged my memory.
Okay.
It was over a washer dryer.
Yeah.
And they wanted
to take it.
and the sellers didn't, and it was kind of a messy transaction
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Like
And what was the price
it-
of the house?
we ended up buying them the same
Right.
one.
Yeah.
You know, it was like
We've done that
It's
so
like
many
a $3
times.
million,
It's-
$3 million list.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's so
and you're
petty.
like,
Yeah.
it's so
It's
petty.
like-
and you're like, I will go to Home Depot right
Yeah,
now and buy
exactly.
you a washer
Just
and dryer. Like
make
my
this
son,
go away.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. We do it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the weirdest thing or situation you've ever walked in on? And not at UCSB.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some weird shit. I mean, I don't know. I've seen somebody shave in an open house upstairs, full shave.
Like a person that came in to look at the house?
Use the
Start
bathroom.
shaving?
Shaved,
What?
Shaved his face upstairs.
He brought his...
Oh, it was like the bar of soap. Sat there and shaved his face
With
upstairs.
the homeowner's razor?
No, it was. I think it was his razor.
He was like, you know what? I forgot to shave. Let me just do this real quick.
I was
What?
downstairs I don't know. A woman came down and said, "There's a man shaving in the
Dude, people are just like,
mass or the
You're
primary."
like, I purposely did that so you can
Yeah.
see what it feels like to live here.
Yeah, I
He's like,
just
I was just checking out the facilities.
recently I had a listing in Pasadena, and this really sweet man and his little daughter came in, and it was a 3-bath, 4-bed, 3-bath, but downstairs only had 1 bathroom.
Okay.
And it was like a hot listing on Zillow. Like this thing was super cute. There's people parked all down the street.
You
They were
got
coming in.
tons of,
And this little girl was like, I have to go to the bathroom. She was like 6 years old. And the dad was like, looked at me and he's like, can she use the bathroom? And I was like, yeah, of course. So I think she was like just learning to go to the bathroom, and it wasn't number 1. And she was in the bathroom for 40 minutes. And people want to see the bathroom, you know, like,
Was the dad, where was he?
oh, he was like, standing
Standing guard
and I'm
outside.
like,
You're like,
dude, can you
go in and,
speed
like,
it up? Like, we only
help
got
her
2
wipe? Like,
hours.
come
What are we
on.
doing? And he was like, she's doing her thing. And I'm like, it's been 40 minutes, you know.
Like, check on
Like,
her.
check
She's all
on
on
her.
Instagram
Yeah,
on her
okay.
phone.
And
Like,
he didn't go in. He kept like knocking, like, hey, is everything okay? And she, yeah. And it's like, I'm like, okay,
that would
like
be Blake. Blake
Yeah.
would be like washing her hands,
Oh,
like
she was in there
smelling
for
the soap.
40 minutes, to the point where I actually I had the picture of the bathroom pulled up.
You can't go in
And
here, but this
I
is
was
what it looks
I was
like.
showing people in the open house, like, this is what it looks like.
way.
Oh, yeah.
my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, because there's so many people coming through. It's not like it's
people were
onesie
like, wait, so is
twosie.
there no bathroom downstairs? And I'm like, oh, no, the powder's right here, but, it's been occupied for the last 40 minutes by a 6-year-old. So I don't know what to do.
I feel like you're the best agent for that too.
like-
oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
no,
so
it's
funny.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
spacious, It's
She's comfortable in there. Let me tell you.
she's in there.
Oh my god,
So
that's funny.
yeah, that's good.
Did he buy it? He should
I
have
was gonna
after
say,
that.
Maybe that was his
No,
tactic.
honestly, I think they came in to use the bathroom. I don't even. I think they literally came in to use the bathroom. Like they were just passing through.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
gotta love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I'm really excited for this next question because I don't know him. And do you have any idea what he'll say?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Oh, God. Here we go.
If you could be anything other than a real estate agent, what would you be and why?
Oh gosh. I mean, anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
People have said
you know what?
Superman.
Honestly, you know what I'd love to be, and like I'm terrified of it, but I'd love to do it. Like as I get older, I hate flying, but I would love to be a pilot. I
Yeah.
think sitting in the front of that thing as it goes up, like
always wanted to see what that looks like.
I would love
I agree.
to be a pilot.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that'd
and
be
like
cool.
you know maybe
Of like a commercial or
I don't
like
know.
a private.
Like I mean,
okay.
flying like a Southwest
Cessna.
sounds kind of boring, but like you know,
you could be
flying
like-
one of these jets out here would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that would be rad.
let's face it, like I'd probably end up flying a commercial thing.
You look more commercial.
yeah,
You look very Delta
yeah.
to me.
No, so good evening, folks.
See,
See?
your
You have the
announcement would be
voice for
great.
it
Yeah.
and everything.
we got clear skies, wind out of the west.
You were that in a past life.
Thanks for flying with us today.
Please take your
Yeah,
seats.
a little turbulence coming in.
Seatbelt sign is fastened. Or what is it?
Yeah.
It took me down.
Wait, now
Oh
you're
my
afraid of
God.
flying though?
I swear, like I used to love it, and now it's like
Even
the
like
littlest
when you-
bump. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
I know.
shit.
He's like,
yeah.
I mean, Mackenzie, she's like, calm down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm like
feel you.
Oh my God.
full Xanax, the whole deal. Just
That's like my
You're-
grandma.
just
They're like-
flatline.
Oh my
on the
God.
airplane.
Mackenzie's like, we're going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't care.
I don't
Oh my God,
care.
what was that bump? Okay, so my grandma's terrified of flying.
Yeah.
Like, she drugs herself like before we go.
Same.
And then she's like, do you want some wine? And I'm like, all right, we're going to booze it up
Yeah.
and drink it up.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
got
yeah.
it.
That's the only way to
I've been
go.
flying with them a couple times. We've taken both of them on trips
Yeah.
a few times this year, and we're leaving next week to go to my brother's for Christmas.
Oh, you
and
have to text me when you're all drugged up and wind up.
I won't be, but Gwen
Oh.
will be, and she will be. So it'll be
Take
a
some pictures.
Oh, yeah.
show. I will.
No, it's like-
she's hysterical. She's like, and then we're at Thanksgiving. She comes in. She's like, Steffi, I got us some airplane wine. She's from West Virginia, so she's got
Okay,
like
she got that twang.
Yeah, she got the twang.
Great.
And I was like, you what? And she's like, airplane wine. I got us some airplane wine. And I was like, what does that mean? And she like pulls out this little 4-pack of the Sutter Homes.
Yeah, the
Like the
Sutter
little, and she's
Homes.
like, look. And
Yeah.
she's so excited. And I'm like, okay. My brother's like, that's disgusting. I'm like, I know, I'm going to drink it for her anyway.
I'm gonna do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And we
you have
did.
to.
I mean, I had to. And then she pours it. She takes a sip. She's standing in the kitchen. She goes, I feel like I'm on Delta right now. And I go, I look at her and I go, what seat are you? 27B? She goes, no, front of the plane, A1. And I was like, okay. She comes and sits down. She goes, you want some? And I was like, okay. She gets
Yeah.
right back up, gets me some.
She drinks it when she's not even on the plane.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's
it's
so
airplane
funny.
wine. Like, and she's like, do you think Todd will get us airplane wine? I'm like, Todd has the good shit. I don't want the good shit.
don't
I
want
want
the
the
good-
airplane
Give
wine.
me the Sutter Homes.
So I told my
Yep.
brother, I'm like, you got to go get a 4-pack. He's like, that shit is not coming in my house. I'm like, no. Like, you got to get grandma a 4-pack of
Refuse.
Sutter Homes. Like,
Yeah.
so now it's air. So anytime you see it's airplane wine.
Yeah.
Airplane wine.
Oh, that's great. Them
She would
little
love to
bottles.
have you as her pilot.
Yeah.
You would put her at ease. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? Because
Oh,
any
yeah.
little, then the engine, she's like, she looks at me, she's like, is that noise normal? And I'm like, that's the wheels going up. You
It's
know what I
like,
mean? Like, she just,
literally-
I mean, everything. And she like does this thing and she holds my grandpa's hand and she kisses his cross and then they kiss the cross and then they do the rosary. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
oh no. I
I'm
mean,
with
she,
her.
and I'm just like, she's like, you're
Yeah.
not nervous? I'm like, no, it's gonna be
It's
okay.
like the odds are like so crazy. But then like it's like I'm scared of flying, and then you know it's like 10:30 at night, and here I am watching air disasters on the Discovery Channel,
And then my
and I
brother-
can't turn it off.
Bing.
Yes.
It's
And
so
there
stupid.
was someone that had a video or a movie on or something, and she was like looking over, and I was like, "Don't look at that movie." Like it was like snakes on a plane or
Yeah.
something that they should not be watching on an
Yes.
airplane.
Yeah.
No.
And then my brother, we're on the phone, and we were talking about coming out there, and he's like, "Well, like only like a couple people have been sucked out of the window. The one guy that sucked out, he survived." And I'm like, "What the f- are you doing?" And she's like, just staring at me, and I'm like, we'll have 2 airplane wines. And she's like, I might need 3. And I'm like, okay. Like, she's so funny. But anyway.
Oh my god.
I love it. A pilot.
Yeah,
that would be
pilot.
great.
I
Oh my
think.
God.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I think you're ready.
I'm
'cause
just gonna leave it at that.
evening,
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evening, folks. Like wind out of the west. Should be a beautiful night for flying.
Well, on that note, I think
Yeah.
it's time for us to go.
Yeah.
Can you please come back? Because I
100%.
feel like you
Yeah,
have
your
stories.
parents.
and-
100%. I have like a ton of stories.
I need you to
really
bring
gotta
mom
sit
and
down.
dad.
Oh my god.
Jeff and Vicky, I really,
That would be,
we need them. We need them.
It would be a riot.
and we'll
It
have
would be a
Mackenzie
riot.
like standing in the background, just like cheering you on.
We should
like,
do, yeah.
Yeah.
We could even do like a Zoom, like a prelim.
Wait a
like-
minute. I know. I don't need to buy more mics. You have mics, you
Yeah,
said.
oh, I
And
do.
you don't
There we
have
go.
recording
I
devices.
do. I just don't know how to plug them in.
Okay, I'm going to
so-
need you to bring your mics down. Okay.
That's a deal.
And
There
your
we go.
parents.
That's a deal.
Mackenzie will meet us here.
Yeah.
And we'll have
And we will
airplane
all
wine.
report.
We'll
and
have
we'll have
airplane
airplane
wine.
wine. My
Sutter
grandma will
Home.
let Sutter Homes. I'll get a couple 4-packs
This
for
segment
us.
sponsored by Sutter Homes.
Perfect.
Listen, if you guys want to sponsor us, airplane wine, we're
Yeah,
down. You know what I mean?
that's good.
Anyway, Kevin, thank you so much for
Oh
being
my God.
here.
Thank you.
We love you
So enjoyable.
much.
I don't know
Yes.
why I was trembling before.
I
was
don't know
so
either.
nervous.
It was
Yeah.
so, oh my God. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks so
Bye.
much.
Thanks for listening. Behind the Lockbox is produced and edited by Property Showcase Group. If you like this podcast, please share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, or review this podcast. Thanks for your support. See you next week.